All right, Philadelphia fans, Philadelphia sports fans, I have a bone to pick with you. So, if you have issue with this video, please leave a comment. Let's talk about it. So, here's the thing. We all know as Philadelphia sports fans that we are an acquired taste, right? We're I like to think that we're hard on our athletes, but I always would communicate it like this to folks. They're like family, right? So the way generally people treat their family is one way, right? Internally, but then we protect our family members to the outside. So when it comes to our sports players and our sports team, sometimes it feels like we have that kind of relationship where we are ecstatic when they do well, and if they're performing poorly, we don't hold our tongue, right? Because when it comes to family members, we can say what we're feeling. But what I've been observing from Philadelphia fans is not that. And I want to call it out because at one point, at some point, we have to become accountable, right? We can't be a fan base that can have it both ways. Meaning, it doesn't matter how hard we are on our athletes, they're supposed to accept it and like it and want to come back for more. So yesterday, the Flyers advanced in the second round of the playoffs by beating the Penguins at home in an overtime game, right? In South Philly. At one point during the game, they pan to the audience and you see some Philadelphia Phillies at the game, supporting the Flyers. The crowd booed. Home game, and the crowd booed. And in that moment, it's just like, yo, we got to be better as fans. Because here's the thing. And here's why it really rubs me when it comes to the Phillies specifically. Because last year, when we were playing the Dodgers and we lost in the playoffs, what really bothered me about that whole series was that all the games at Citizen Bank Park, the Boo Birds were just all like they were out. And I'm thinking to myself, at some point, you want to get behind the team. Like, even if they're struggling and you don't want to see them struggle, booing them generally won't help, right? And we learned that when Trey Young came into town, right? We got on him because he wasn't performing based on our expectation. And then that one fan sort of like said, listen, let's turn this around. Let's really give him brotherly love, and gave him a good attaboy, and it worked. But now here we are, and Phillies. And here's the thing. Here's the thing about a sports person, right? Like, if I'm an athlete and I'm walking around as a civilian, and you're gonna boo me as if I'm in between the lines, that's a problem. And so I'm calling out our fandom and the way we treat our athletes in Philadelphia. At some point, we have to acknowledge our own behavior, right? Like, we could be diehards, we could be hard on our guys, celebrate when they do well, and call them out when they do poorly. But if there's no love there at all, and you're just looking for an opportunity to dig, and even if they show up to other sports and other teams to support them as civilians, we're gonna grill on them the same way they would if they were like struck out at the plate. I just think that's odd, and I'm not that kind of fan, right? I'm a huge fan, but at some point, like, let's be civil. So, Philly sports fans, are we better than this? Like, are we the kind of fans that have to boo players when they're in street clothes, or even if they're at a game for another team, supporting the other team, and they put them on the screen? Like, is that really who we are? And if that is, then we got to accept if players don't want to come play here. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that's who we are at our core, but I have been observing a behavior. And at some point, I just want to say, we're better than this, right? Where's the brotherly love, y'all? Come on now. Slim thoughts.